everybody. Today I'm talking about Jupiter and Pisces part 2, focusing on Jupiter's transits over your planets. Jupiter is in dignity. It is helping everybody wherever he transits. And so therefore, this is quite a pleasant thing to watch out for. Let us explore. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton. We are talking Jupiter and Pisces part 2, its impact on your planets. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. So Jupiter in Pisces started on 13th of April and will be there till 21st of April 2023. So this is a 1-year-long transit. And during this time, Jupiter is going to transit over planets that are in Pisces. And he will go from the beginning of Pisces to end of Pisces, and then end of Jupiter in Pisces is Gandanta in April 2021. But wherever Jupiter is, he is giving positive vibrations to us. He's expanding our horizons. He's bringing opportunities, general good luck. So overall, Jupiter in Pisces, what sign it is, house it is in your chart, it will impact. That will be part 3 of this series. So wait for that. But today we are going to talk about Jupiter's impact on planets in Pisces. Jupiter on its own is also creating the Mahapurusha Yoga for Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces. So if your ascendant or moon is there, this is a very good transit. But generally, I would say any planet that Jupiter is going over, he gives opportunity, feel-good factor, good luck. So that is excellent aspect. During this transit, Jupiter is going to retrograde. And it is going to retrograde at 14 degrees 32 minutes of Pisces on 28th of July, and then it retrogrades back on to 4 degrees 32 of Pisces on 23rd November. So that means that if you have planets placed within 4 degrees to 14 degrees, Jupiter is going to do a triple transit for you. So that is even more positive. And if you have planets at exact 14 degrees or 4 degrees, that means Jupiter is going to station there. And station means positive, not negative, as you know, we are always worried if Saturn is stationing, but this is Jupiter stationing and will give even more opportunity. So if your ascendant, sun, moon are at those degrees, so then that is really very positive. And if it is within 4 to 14 degrees, that 10-degree orb, that means that Jupiter will be transiting 3 times on that degree. And so triple opportunities. But the rest also, Jupiter will overall give you good impact for the year, but specifically when it's going over the planets, the heightened energy is there. Ascendant, if your ascendant is Pisces, then this is a great year for you. You are experiencing the Mahapurusha Yoga, Hamsa Mahapurusha Yoga of Jupiter. And if your ascendant is either 4 degrees or 14 degrees, then Jupiter is going to be there for a long time. And then between 4 and 14, 3 times transit over those points. So I would say overall, this is a time to get respect, to get opportunities. It's a great transit for you. Moon, Jupiter going over your moon, you feel calm, collected when, it's soothing you. Again, according to the house it rules, it can give opportunities as well. Jupiter going over the sun, it can bring, money, financial opportunities. It can also bring good luck connected to your father, to authority figures, good luck with government aspects. But as sun represents your soul, you feel nurtured, I would say. That is the thing, nurtured by the wisdom of Jupiter. Mars, again, Jupiter will calm Mars down. It will give it advice and say, okay, don't do anything crazy, think about it, then go forward. So it's a good wisdom that Mars gets. And Mars in Pisces is very spiritual Mars, and Jupiter going over it, it helps Mars to gain its more spiritual nature, I would say. And it is a great transit for Mars, whatever houses Mars rules. Remember, Mars is a spiritual warrior as well as a warrior, so depending in Pisces, he's thinking more about higher mind, higher things. So this is more calm Mars, but Jupiter going there will also help it. Mercury in Pisces is debilitated. So Jupiter's transit is very useful for Mercury in Pisces. Now, don't worry about debilitated Mercury, because Mercury in Pisces is much more artistic, creative. They're not thinking business. They're not thinking, show me the evidence. So when Jupiter crosses over it, Jupiter is going to bring out those creative ideas, those higher, bigger ideas that they have. Only thing to be careful is that don't over-expand, or you already got great ideas. Try to develop them during this transit. That means you're getting Jupiter return. Jupiter return happens once every 12 years. So every 12 years, Jupiter comes back to this own sign. You can look back to see 12 years ago what Jupiter was doing. So this is 2022-23. So that would be Jupiter in Pisces around 2010-11. It's not exactly precise, but Jupiter return, very good. It is again a beginning of new cycles. There are many cycles within cycles that are happening. As planets come back to the natal position, that means you are starting a new cycle of that. So always every 12 years. Venus is Jupiter transiting of Venus can bring marriage, relationship, general good love opportunities. Even though Venus and Jupiter are inimical to each other, Jupiter's transit is always positive. So Jupiter in Pisces and your Venus is in Pisces. Venus is exalted. Jupiter is going over Venus. That is a good positive aspect for you. And so enjoy this transit. It is a very good transit on whichever level you want to experience it. Bring money, opportunities, relationships, love. It can also bring wisdom and knowledge too. Saturn in Pisces, Jupiter going over it. This is a good aspect because Saturn in Pisces already thinking, I have to sort out karma. This is the end last sign. Take charge of my karmic responsibilities. Jupiter brings wisdom, brings a lightness to Saturn. And that is a positive aspect for Saturn, and what are the houses Saturn rules. And also you'll feel less burdened by Saturn because Jupiter takes some of that away from you. Rahu, Jupiter transit over Rahu. That is good. Rahu is in Pisces. Jupiter is going over it. Jupiter is strong. It's different. Rahu going over Jupiter is different. Jupiter going over Rahu is different because Jupiter is the wisdom planet. So when he's going over your natal Rahu, he's giving wisdom to Rahu to, not be so full of desire, to calm down, not be so disruptive. So this is a positive transit for Rahu in Pisces. And Ketu, again, Jupiter going over Ketu is different from Ketu going over Jupiter. But what you can do with Jupiter going over Ketu, it's reminding you of the knowledge, wisdom you've gathered from many past lives. It is helping you to come to terms with letting go of certain things. And also Jupiter will encourage you to study those old ancient texts of knowledge. You could think about studying Jyotish, you could think about studying yoga, you can think about Vedic philosophy, other things as well. So this is a good transit for you. So that is it for today. I'm going to have part 3 of Jupiter and signs, how it affects you. But what you have to remember is that Jupiter and Pisces, overall, what is there in Pisces, it is strong. Only time that we have to be cautious is the end of Pisces transit, where Jupiter goes to Gandanta, where he's unsettled. That will be right at the end of the transit in April 2023. Even then, he's wanting to give, but it's sort of very mystical, spiritual energy at that time. Thank you very much. Do remember to subscribe. All the best.